What if a simple stop at McDonald's led to a life-changing moment? That's exactly what happened when Donald Trump, fresh from a radio interview in Chicago, decided to grab a quick meal. As he arrived, a pregnant woman called out to him, catching the attention of both his security team and onlookers. What started as a brief encounter quickly turned into an inspiring act of generosity that would change not just her life, but the lives of thousands of veterans across the country. Stay tuned to find out how this unexpected meeting unfolded and why it became a national story. If you enjoy inspiring real-life stories, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories like this. After wrapping up a radio interview in downtown Chicago, Donald Trump stepped out onto Michigan Avenue, surrounded by his security detail. It had been a busy day, and he was in the mood for something quick and familiar. McDonald's. His team agreed, and soon they were pulling into the parking lot of the location on West Randolph Street. As the SUV came to a stop, Trump's attention was drawn to a woman stepping out of a nearby car. She was visibly pregnant, dressed in a smart black hoodie, and seemed hesitant for a moment before calling out, "Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump." Immediately, the Secret Service agents became alert, their instincts kicking in to assess any potential threat. But before they could react, Trump raised a hand, signaling them to stand down. He was curious. Who was this woman? Why was she calling him? There was something in her voice, urgency, but not hostility. With his characteristic confidence, Trump took a step toward her, ready to hear what she had to say. What happened next would become a story that no one saw coming. The woman took a deep breath and stepped forward, extending her hand. "Mr. Trump, my name is Sarah Grant. I'm a former Marine, and now an entrepreneur." Trump shook her hand firmly, studying her with interest. Before he could respond, she continued, "I just wanted to personally thank you for everything you've done for veterans. Your support has meant a lot to people like me." Trump nodded, clearly intrigued. "A Marine and an entrepreneur?" he repeated. "Tell me more." Sarah's expression softened as she began sharing her story. She had served 2 tours in Afghanistan, experiencing the highs and hardships of military life firsthand. After returning home, she saw many of her fellow veterans struggling, some without jobs, others without a place to call home. Determined to make a difference, she took matters into her own hands, launching a business focused on providing housing solutions for struggling veterans. It hadn't been easy, but she believed that every service member deserved a second chance. Trump listened intently, his usual bold demeanor giving way to genuine admiration. He had met many veterans over the years, but Sarah stood out. She wasn't just surviving, she was leading, creating change where it was needed most. He could see the passion in her eyes, the determination in her voice. "That's incredible," he finally said. "What you're doing, it's something special." Little did Sarah know, Trump was about to do something that would take her mission to an entirely new level. Trump stood in thoughtful silence for a moment before turning toward his SUV. "Wait here," he told Sarah. She watched as he walked over to one of his aides and whispered something. Moments later, the aide handed Trump a small velvet box. Trump returned to Sarah, opened the box, and revealed a gleaming presidential medal. "Sarah Grant, for your service to this country and your incredible dedication to helping veterans, I want to present you with this," he said. Sarah's eyes widened as he placed the medal in her hands. A small crowd had gathered, watching the moment unfold, and soon applause broke out. She was speechless, overcome by the unexpected recognition. But Trump wasn't finished. He looked at Sarah and said, "You're doing something incredible, and I want to help you do more." He turned to his aide again, this time reaching for his checkbook. Right there, on the spot, he wrote out a check for $5 million and handed it to her. Sarah's hands trembled as she looked down at the check, struggling to find the words. Tears welled in her eyes. "Mr. Trump, I I don't even know what to say," she whispered. Trump smiled. "Just keep doing what you're doing," he said. "Make sure every veteran who needs a home gets one." Sarah clutched the check tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude. What had started as a chance encounter in a McDonald's parking lot had just become a life-changing moment, one that would impact thousands of veterans across the country. It didn't take long for the media to catch wind of what had happened. Footage of Trump awarding Sarah the medal and handing her the $5 million check spread like wildfire across news stations and social media. Headlines praised the unexpected act of generosity, and soon, Sarah's name was everywhere. Reporters reached out for interviews, eager to learn more about the woman who had captured the nation's attention. As Sarah's story spread, something incredible happened. Private donors, inspired by her mission and Trump's support, stepped forward with contributions of their own. Wealthy philanthropists, veteran organizations, and everyday Americans began donating to her cause, wanting to be part of something meaningful. What had started as a small initiative was now turning into a movement. With the surge in funding, Sarah's organization, Second Chance Homes, rapidly expanded. New housing projects broke ground in multiple states, and veterans who had once been homeless were now finding stable places to live. What once seemed like an impossible dream was becoming a reality. Sarah had set out to give struggling veterans a second chance, and now, thanks to the overwhelming support, she was making an impact on a national scale. As Sarah's story gained national attention, not everyone was celebrating. Critics began questioning her motives, accusing her of using the spotlight to seek fame. Some claimed she had exaggerated her struggles, while others suggested she was simply in the right place at the right time. At the same time, Trump faced his own wave of skepticism. Political opponents and media pundits argued that his generosity was nothing more than a publicity stunt, a strategic move to win favor with voters. But Sarah refused to be distracted by the negativity. She stayed focused on her mission, reminding herself why she had started Second Chance Homes in the first place. Every day she received messages from veterans who had found hope through her organization. That was what truly mattered, not the opinions of people who didn't understand her work. Trump, as expected, didn't hold back when addressing the backlash. When asked about the criticism, he dismissed it outright. "Helping someone like Sarah isn't about politics," he told reporters. "It's about doing what's right." His words made it clear. This wasn't a campaign move or a media stunt. It was a genuine act of support for a veteran who was changing lives, and no amount of criticism would take that away. As the years passed, Second Chance Homes grew beyond what Sarah had ever imagined. What started as a small effort to help struggling veterans had now become a nationwide initiative, with housing projects in multiple states and partnerships with organizations dedicated to veteran support. Thousands of former service members who once faced homelessness now had a place to call home, along with access to job training, counseling, and community resources. Sarah remained at the forefront of the mission, working tirelessly to ensure no veteran was left behind. Despite the challenges that came with running such a large-scale operation, she never lost sight of her purpose. The impact of Second Chance Homes was undeniable, and more people joined the cause, eager to contribute to the movement she had built. Throughout it all, Trump and Sarah stayed in touch. He continued to support her work, checking in on the organization's progress and offering his influence to connect her with key supporters. Their shared commitment to helping veterans never wavered, and together, they pushed for new initiatives to expand veteran aid even further. What had begun as a chance encounter outside a McDonald's had transformed into a lifelong mission, one that was changing lives across the country. Years after that fateful encounter outside McDonald's, Sarah Grant stood on a grand stage in Washington, D.C., addressing a packed audience at a high-profile Veterans Summit. The event was filled with military leaders, policymakers, and veterans from across the country, all gathered to discuss the future of veteran support. Among them, seated in the front row, was Donald Trump, watching with a look of pride. Taking a deep breath, Sarah scanned the room before speaking. "I stand here today because someone believed in me," she said, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "But more importantly, because I believed in myself and my mission to serve others." She went on to share her journey, from her time as a Marine, to her struggles after returning home, to the incredible moment that changed everything. She spoke about the thousands of veterans who now had homes, the families that had been reunited, and the power of giving someone a second chance. As she finished her speech, the audience erupted into applause, a standing ovation that lasted for minutes. Trump nodded approvingly, knowing that his decision to help Sarah that day had set off a chain reaction of positive change. It was a moment that proved one simple act of kindness could create a ripple effect, transforming not just one life, but thousands. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that one act of kindness can change countless lives. What started as a simple encounter outside a McDonald's turned into a nationwide movement, providing homes and hope to thousands of veterans. It shows that when people believe in a mission, and in each other, real change is possible. But what do you think of this incredible story? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.